Perhaps some of the most scary stories take place on your own turf. Some of the scariest stories I've ever heard or read, or even seen in movies and TV, has to do with home invasions, have to do with strangers getting into your house. And the title of the story is Home Alone with My Old Dog. Although it doesn't seem like it, this happened quite a while back. Probably over 10 years ago. I was in the later years of high school and was home alone. My parents were at a wedding that required them to stay at a hotel, and my brother worked the night shift. At that time, my family lived in a very well-known East Coast city in a blue-collar neighborhood that was starting to take a nosedive. As a teenager, I was a bit of a loner. I wasn't a nerd or anything. I was a big dude who had friends and went on dates, but I'm a natural introvert, so I cherished the rare alone time that I got. This weekend, I was looking forward to engaging in my normal, empty house routine. Play some PlayStation on the big screen TV, then order a late takeout dinner, pizza or Chinese, and pig out while watching some Dragon Ball Z. Then, around 2 a.m., fall asleep on the couch with my old dog, Cecil. Cecil was a beagle who was as old as the hills and had been in our family for about 8 years. He was quiet and peaceful and spent his time begging for food and sleeping. Unlike most beagles, Cecil never howled or barked. He was more than content to rest his head on your lap and spend the night there. Anyway, back to the story. It's approximately 1 a.m. I had just finished the last slice of pizza and was dozing off on the couch when I hear a bang coming from the back alleyway. I didn't think much of it. Anyone who lived in the city knows noises happen all moments of the night. Cecil's head popped up off my lap and the hair on his back stood up. He was always a bit skittish, so I calmed him down and started dozing off again. Not more than 2 minutes later, I hear another bang, and Cecil did something I never seen him do before. He leapt off the couch and ran like the wind towards the door, leading to the basement, barking and growling like a dog twice his size. The look on his face reminded me of a German Shepherd canine unit. I'd never seen him like that before, which got my adrenaline pumping. Through the dog's barks, I can now make out a persistent banging. There was a seldom used door in the basement that led to our back alleyway. It was old and rusted and was hard to open, even with a key, and it made a lot of noise. I suddenly realized that someone was trying to break into my house through my basement door. Quick little bit of content for anyone who hasn't lived in a bad neighborhood. If someone tries to get into your house and moves on after they realize the door is locked, they want your stuff. If someone is persistently trying to get into your house, despite the door being locked, well, they want you. Knowing this, I rush upstairs to grab the heavy wood baseball bat that I keep under my bed for situations like this. Then I head down to my basement. Probably should have ran, but I was a macho teenager with a tough guy complex, and plus I had nowhere to go. While I'm heading down the stairs to my basement, Cecil blows past me with the speed and aggression of a dog half his age. Suddenly, I hear a man's voice, and the banging stopped. I didn't call the cops or anyone else, which was probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. I just sat up for the rest of the night with a bat in my hand. My brother came home that morning, and I told him what happened. We went to the basement door to take a look, and when we gave it a tug to open it, the whole door fell off. This psycho was one good shove away from getting into my house, but old Cecil scared him off. I'm pretty sure that lazy fat old dog saved my life. When I tell this story to people, they dismiss his actions as a dog doing what a dog was supposed to do. But when I tell you that Cecil never barked or moved that fast in his life, you can take that to the bank. It was almost like he knew the urgency, like he knew that door was going to give. A few years back, we had to have him put down because he just had no will to live anymore. Before the injection, I got a moment alone with him. I thanked him one last time for his friendship and for what he had done that night. At this point, I was a grown man with a wife and kids. I'm convinced none of that would have happened without old Cecil. Thanks, pal. I miss you. And the top comment for the story was, "Good boy, Cecil." So, if that doesn't make you have any feelings, then you're a robot. But anyway, the scary part of the story is exactly what the person says. If somebody tries to open your door and goes away, they're just after your stuff. But if they persistently try to get in knowing that the doors are locked and that they're going to have to break in, especially the way he was, the chances are that they're after you. Or they just don't care and they're just going to do what they're going to do. Which means sometimes they're just after their stuff, but if you get in their way, it's game over. And like in my past story, I did say that dogs kind of have like this sense where they can tell the true danger of something, at least some dogs, and they can tell what type of person is around them, who's in their presence. They can sniff out what's good and bad. Generally, they can tell if a person is trustworthy. I mean, either way, someone's breaking into your house, they're not trustworthy. But it seems like this dog went the extra mile and kind of acted out of the ordinary because it wanted to save the person that was caring for him. He wanted to save its family. And also, to add to this, I don't know the city that you live in or lived in at that point, but you should have definitely called 911. If somebody breaks into your house, sometimes I guess it depends on the city. Maybe it wouldn't even matter if you called 911. They might not even show up for a while, and all they're going to tell you is put up a camera or something, or they're going to say, we don't know where the guy is. We can patrol the neighborhood. We can station somebody out for the next couple hours. That's as far as we can go right now, until we have some further evidence or proof, or in case he comes back, that type of stuff. And a baseball bat next to the bed is a good option, of course. But in this situation, you never know what that guy was going to have. You might have brought a baseball bat to a Glock fight. Maybe. Or a knife fight. Either way, you might have lost. But honestly, with you and that dog, your chances were pretty good that you were going to be safe. And when he heard the dog's bark and how close it was, which I don't know how he didn't hear it before, because if you're breaking into a door, you can generally hear what's going on beyond the door, unless he was just banging too loud. But the second he knew that dog was there, he was gone. Most people don't want to mess with dogs because dogs can tear you up. It doesn't matter if it's a really small dog, you can probably be just fine. But when they get to the medium size to large, your chances fall dramatically